Good evening. An elementary school yearbook asked students for their greatest fears. They all listed sharks, darkness, heights, and a personal favorite, snakes. But then there's Dylan, who was scared on the unstoppable march of time towards dying. Another 8-year-old, Catherine, also listed her fear, and you won't guess what she said. Her greatest fear was Dylan. Today, I'm using Dylan's logic to talk about dying. And before you call public safety, I can assure you that I have a positive goal in mind. Esteemed faculty, distinguished guests, and the amazing graduating class of the University of North Georgia, I am honored to address this gathering of scholars and legacy makers. As promised, I want to talk about Dylan's fear. But don't worry, I will propose ideas on how to avoid passing away. First, I must clarify that I'm talking about the type of death we face when our hopes and dreams fade. This dissipation is so subtle that it even happens at the pinnacle of success. Living isn't just about breathing. It's about respecting time's balance. And by that, I mean we can avoid vanishing when we live in the moment. As one of the most respected scholars and philosophers of the modern era said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, but today is a gift, and that is why it's called the present. That's Master Wu-Wei from Kung Fu Panda. You see, so many of us make the mistake of getting stuck in the past and hanging on to the things that hurt us. In my experience, life has been anything but easy. At 3 months old, I was ripped apart from my mom, which was an experience that lasted the first 8 years of my life. And at the age of 9, I remember my first vacation being the picking out of putrid, decomposing chicken from poultry houses. Being first generation, low income, and of a single parent household was no easy task for an 18-year-old student. It meant having multiple jobs and fighting imposter syndrome, all while going to class. Life did not slow down after. And I could have used these excuses to give up. Instead, I've learned to move on. And we must learn to move on from the things that happened to us that shouldn't have, and move on from the things that didn't happen to us but should have. Easier said than done, right? But I propose we view our past through the lens of gratitude. Let's remember our sacrifices. Must I remind us all of the countless late nights we spent studying in which we consumed enough caffeine to fuel an entire army? Let's recall the time away from family and loved ones. Some of us even felt guilty being caught up with deadlines instead of enjoying special moments that will never come by again. Not only did we sacrifice so much, but so did they. They saw us struggle and did everything in their power to help us. To these countless sacrifices, and most importantly, to the people involved, we should say thank you. Namely, Christian, the College Assistant Migrant Program, friends, thank you. Familia, los amo, I love you. Others find it difficult not getting lost in tomorrow's false fantasies. And someone once said, being anxious about tomorrow is the future's theft of today's joy. So let me reiterate. Worrying about the future takes the happiness we could experience in the present. I think we're all guilty of being lured into tomorrow's promises, but I can assure you today is far more important. If I told you the people you love will not always be around, how would you live today? This already is true for some, so take today seriously like your life depended on it. Now, academia, I have not forgotten about you. My last point to live longer is to never stop learning. That's key. From our ABCs to our graduate level classes, our hunger for knowledge has kept us alive, and no, curiosity did not kill the cat in this story. Rather, our eagerness for what is out there is what made us come for another degree despite promising ourselves not doing this again. Some would disagree because they think this advanced degree was a means to an end, but I have a feeling there is something deep within that makes us want to learn. Maybe not learn from quantum mechanics, but definitely learn about ourselves and how far we can push our limits. Now I conclude. Everything I said could be encapsulated in these words. For everything, there is a season and a time. Let's be grateful for today and hopeful for tomorrow. As Dylan said, we share an unavoidable destiny. And when people get caught up on whether there is life after death, my question is there life before that? Are we truly living before dying? It is said that a person lives twice. The first is when they are born, and the second when they realize we only live once. So let's live with a reorganized priority list and continue being curious in this new chapter that unfolds as we lean into our purpose. With that, I wish you all an abundant life. God bless you, and congratulations, class of 2024.